My name is Robert Morris. I'm a detective, hence the trench coat. You may recognize my name. That's right. Robert Morris was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. He's the one right next to John Hancock. But no matter. I've been without a partner for almost 2 years now. My partner was killed in the line of fire, but I still suspect that it was an inside job. That's why I trust no one. I can't say that the years of solitude have been good to me. The force is sending me a new one. Say it's some sort of insurance thing. Having a lone detective is a liability, even for one as good as me. There was a knock at the door. I suspected it was him. Already my detective powers were assessing the situation. He kept knocking, but I didn't answer the door. I figured that if he was a good enough detective, he'd figure out how to open it himself. He was a man of many hats. The depth of his hats was almost unfathomable. I had an immediate distrust of him, in the same way I have an immediate distrust of caterers, musicians, and florists. All of them are no different than one Stephen Cale, 5'9", 28 years old, and that they could be the one who killed my partner. We shook hands, locking eyes. I asked him if he would join me for lunch. I've always found that the best way to gauge a potential adversary was to observe how he ate a meal. We found ourselves at a local cafe. From his eating, I could tell that Cale was an East Coaster, most likely from the Massachusetts, Connecticut area. He didn't drink, he didn't smoke, and he didn't like onions. A weakness I might find myself having to exploit. Even so, as far as detectives go, he checked out. Damn, I hate it when they check out. It's much easier to get rid of them when they make a glaring error. Despite Cale's offer to give me a lift home, I prefer to walk. Could be part of my lone wolf complex. Could be that the time alone helps me assess the situation at hand. Could be that my apartment is a 6-minute walk from the station. Who can say? The next morning, Cale asked me if I wanted to go investigate a possible arson site with him. I told him that I had more important things to do. Besides, with Cale out of the picture, I could do some more determining. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's determining. At a restaurant, I can easily determine which meal gives the most food for the least money. At arson sites, I can quickly determine which are arson and which are accidents. They're all arson. For some reason that I will never understand, people love arson. Anyway, I'm going to go through this Cale's file to determine if he killed my partner. Damn, a whole day of determining, and it's still a toss-up. It might not be him. He doesn't have any kind of strong motive. On the other hand, it could be him just following the orders of a shadowy superior. Cale returned. I asked him if it was arson. He said yes. Duh, it's always arson. I was already at work, doing some quality staring out the window, when Lieutenant Manfred walked in. He was my superior, a good man, a stickler for the rules, and another one of my suspects. He announced that there had been a breakthrough in the case of my partner's murder. He gave me a name and an address, but I immediately began my determining. On one hand, this felt like the breakthrough that I'd been waiting for years. On the other hand, this could be a trap. Then again, I think that everything is a trap. From choosing between super salad, to buying sunglasses at a convenience store, to brushing my teeth at night. All of them potential traps. This might be one that I have to subject myself to, or I'd never be able to rest easy. Hawkins Manor had always given me the creeps. It looked like it could house generations of organized crime. It also looked like it was on the verge of breaking a dozen building codes. We entered the building. I knew that in a mansion such as this, a clever man wouldn't hide in the tallest tower, but rather the basement. Who would think of that? I would. As I explored, I found that it was good to have Kale with me. I had to plunge deeper. But wait, where was Kale? That traitor? Obviously he had retreated to his lair. Coward. I would find him and make him pay. I had found what I thought to be the lair, the headquarters of the mastermind. Inside was someone much prettier than Kale. Who was this woman? Did Kale send her to kill me? But wait, Kale was next to me. Apparently he had been in the bathroom. Fool. Why is it that all of my encounters with dames end up heating up so quickly? Either way, with this, it was time to go. Obviously Kale wasn't the culprit. It must have been the lieutenant. No one else knew about this lead. He must have figured that this femme fatale would finish us both off. But when we returned, what we saw did not add up. The lieutenant had been stabbed. The woman's knife protruded from his chest. What was this? An assassin gone rogue? An elaborate suicide? These twists were compounding upon themselves, and I no longer knew what to believe. I surveyed the scene, trying to make sense of what I was looking at. Was this dubious killer so bold as to show her face at her murder site moments after it was committed? It seemed bizarre, but I didn't know what to believe myself. Who was this woman? How did she know who I was and where I work? And how was she so fast? It didn't add up. And that was it. She was gone. So much left unexplained. Was she the one I was looking for? Was this how it ended? Or was this just the start of something new? Who can say? So here we are, my partner's grave. And to think that not 2 days ago, I thought that the man standing next to me was the one who ended my partner's life. He asked me how she was killed. I told him the truth. She died in a fire. It was arson. It's always arson. Rest in peace, Sarah Morris.